Alright, here's part 2 of Forest of Monsters. Here we go. His blood, if he was still bleeding, they would still be able to track him. He'd never be able to escape them. He gazed down at his knee and saw the wound had begun to heal. The huge gash was slowly closing on itself, and the blood seeped back into the skin pores. No, it couldn't be. The doctor had found a solution to regeneration, and he had injected him with it. He gazed once more at the creature, shocked. It nodded acknowledgement he guessed was correct. It signaled he should leave before it was too late. Man, everybody wished they had that regeneration abilities or whatever. Be like, kind of like, almost like the Hulk, where if he gets wounded, you like quickly take the bullet out or something, and then it heals back up. That would be amazing, but I don't think we're ever going to see that. But anyway, the sound of the creature's approach was getting louder. Every second, ridiculously, Jacob nodded and made his way to the door. His legs' weight had lightened, and numbness was beginning to fade. Once he got to the door, he reached to open it a crack and peeked out. But before he had a chance to do so, he spotted the creature outside. Lucky for him, it had its back to him and didn't see him before he closed the door once more, locking it behind him. The lock wouldn't keep them out, but it gave him a sense of security just the same. He heard a grunt behind him and turned to see the creature, half beast, half human now, motioning for him to get into the tall metal cabinet beside it. Jacob hurried over there. His legs didn't wobble any longer, nor did he gait waver. Jacob's huge feet seemed to move in a heavy, brutish-like fashion. When he got to the storage cabinet's door, he scrunched up and squeezed inside the cabinet as far as he could. He tried to make as much room for Dr. Phillips as possible, but the doctor shut the door on him. Just as he heard the door to the lab crash open, the creatures had entered the room. Holding his breath, Jacob listened acutely to the fracas coming from inside the room as his heart drummed in his chest. From Dr. Phillips' cries, he understood the creatures were eating him alive. No, I'll be like praying to God, be like, please don't let me eat, don't let them eat me. Please don't let me eat me. You know what I mean? But he sacrificed himself to get him out of there. But that's it. Like I said, I don't want to be in no scientific room and see these Bigfoots coming after you. But anyway, Jacob knew all too well they loved fresh blood the most, the vicious texture of it, the scent. Yes, oh yes. He began to salivate, and his head turned and turned. Something in his brain started to change. He could sense it, but didn't understand it until the smell of freshly spilled blood coming from outside the storage cabinet entranced him. Then he knew what was happening, and he relished it with all of his heart and soul, for the order in nature would soon be balanced once more. All the wrongs Dr. Phillips and he had committed this past year would all be eradicated. Soon the creatures in the other room would be no more, and he could go back to his past life. Retribution at last was his last human thought as he reverted back to his beastly origins. Jacob Bigfoot hit the metal door with a powerful blow of his bent arm, making the door fly to the other side of the room. It gazed at the mutant ape-like creatures as they feasted on the fresh remains of the human. Again, I don't want to see a movie about this either. It took a deep inhale and smelled the scent of blood, and its stomach churned and yearning. It wasn't the split human's blood that interested the beast. No, it was the fresh pumping blood in the creature's veins that got its fancy. With a howl of dominant proclamation, Bigfoot made its ground by taking a deadly strike at its first victim. Ooh-wee. I was going to try to finish it off in the first part, but I said it might take too long, so I said I might as well finish it off now. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and I'll see you next time. And really, like I don't want to imagine it, but imagine if you were in a scientific laboratory and you saw some Bigfoots eating on a human. I'd be like, better get out of there before they get me, right? Sayonara.